all beings want to be happy. That's the longing that everyone and everything is calling for. We all long for peace. We all long to be loved. We all long to feel joy. And that's the natural impulse of our being, to seek for love, to seek for joy, to seek for happiness. It's inherent in our being. So the first understanding is you cannot search for something that you don't know. If you search for something, it's because you have the memory of it. There is some kind something in you that remember what it is searching for. And in a human experience, peace, love, and happiness is nowhere to be found. Not because I did something wrong, because you did something wrong, or because someone outside of me did something wrong. Simply because nothing in a human existence is stable. Everything changes constantly. And because everything changes, there is no stability. The stability upon which the person wants to build peace is nowhere to be found, because everything changes. Everything changes here constantly. So anytime there is a situation, an event, a relationship, anything that seems to produce joy for us from an outside perspective is doomed to change and to vanish. So from a personal perspective, there is a huge anxiety, because I'm longing for peace, and I cannot grasp it here. It always seems to elude me. Everything always changes. Everything is perfect, and 1 second later, everything just starts to crumble again. So the mistake, the confusion, is not in the longing. The confusion is where I'm searching, or even more accurate, from which perspective I'm searching for that. And that's the core of the realization. It's from which perspective I am approaching experience, from which perspective I'm engaging with my experience, and to understand the limitation of any perspective that arises. The experience is always shining forth, is always moving, changing, shifting, and drifting away, and nothing is really graspable. So there is no stability in experience. And from a human perspective, from a limited perspective, from a person perspective, that's a terrible fact. it's just horrible. Because I need stability, right? The body needs a shelter, need a room, need a perfect temperature, need food, need water, need a acid and basic acidity. It need an infinity of it. The body survive in really in an ecosystem that is almost impossible to hold. But here it is doing that, right? And for the psyche, it's the same. The psyche, it's impossible to hold the human mind in a healthy and balanced way, because everything change, shift. And of course, the body and the person knows that death is inevitable. So we are longing for peace, joy, and love from a perspective that is limited, and that it is at its core doomed to anxiety. And because we don't see another option and another possibility, we do our best. We make a lot of concession. We try to manage our life, to take the little piece that we can from what is happening, and we just say thank you. So it's not that we are asking for too little. We are asking to be happy from a point of view that happiness cannot enter, because it's really too small. We want to be loved, but the perspective of being a person, it's already a felt sensation of being broken and separated. I want to be joyful, but the sense of being a separate individual just make me feel alone no matter what, because I'm stuck within a body that is doomed to die. So what joy can I have there from that perspective? What? So the process of realization, it's really to see, to be sensitive, and to start to really pay attention to what is happening, to how it is happening, because we are constantly engaged with experience. The question is, what is the nature of this experience? How experience is unfolding? Does the perspective from which I'm searching love is accurate? The question is not so much can I find love, or does love exist, or what is love? Is whatever love is to you, from which perspective are you seeking for it? I want to experience peace. Okay, that's fine, whatever peace means to you. But from what perspective you are engaging with your experience to obtain or to feel this peace? I want to feel joy. Okay, that's great, that's fantastic, I'm very happy. That's like great, everyone wants to feel love, peace and joy, so great. And the question, we overlook completely the perspective from which I'm engaging with my experience, and I jump straight to how can I make it happen? What is the technique? What is the new book? What is this? What is that? And we overlook from which I'm perceiving everything. And if you pay attention, you will see that the perspective is limited. But there is something that is not limited in us, that is allowing a limited perspective to appear. And one word for that is consciousness. That is aware of whatever it's appearing, not as a theory, but as an actual fact. And it's a fact that is very easy to see, because the only thing you are engage with is your experience, is experiencing right now. This that is right here in your experience, this is it. This is the only thing that you engage with. This that is right here. So we overlook the place that is from which we are perceiving everything. We overlook the fact that perspective is always limited. We overlook the nature of experience. So we build assumptions and we overlook the fact of actuality. And then we ask, okay, now how can I be happy? How can I find love? How to be joyful here? Which, they are valid questions, but the issue is not in the question. The issue is, are you seeing from where you are asking the question? And it's the obviousness that experience is all you know. You are engaged with experience. And we tend to think as experience as something, as some kind of the product of somehow a brain or a mind and objects through some apparatus like eyes, ears, right? There is an interaction between a physical world and somehow a mind world, and they interact and they create experience. So we take experience as a side effect of two things that are real. But our experience, we know only experience. So experience is first, is the first thing. Experience is actuality. The mind, the object, the eyes, the perception, the thoughts, all of this, it's within experience, but it's already an interpretation, only an assumption that appears in experience itself. So we overlook what is the nature of this I that is looking? What is my nature? What is this I? Who is this I? We overlook that. We overlook the nature of experience, and then we want to find clarity. When we overlook completely the two only facts that we are constantly engaged with. And that's where the teaching it's very fun, because experience is already what it is, and you are already what you are. So it seemed like, what's the point of exploring this? Why what's the point? But the point is the peace and the joy and the happiness that we seek, that all beings are seeking, is what we are. Is peace because what I am is not in conflict with experience. Is love because experience is an expression of my being, an expression of myself. And it is joyful because there is absolutely no limit to what can appear. So that's the real joy, the real freedom, the real love that we are seeking. But because we understand and we engage with experience from assumption, from confusion, and from a perspective that is very, very, very small, we reduce what we are really longing for, which is love, joy, and peace of being, of pure consciousness. And we are just, I just want to have a good work, and be a good human and live for 80 years. This is peace. This is happiness to me. That's great. You can search for that. There's nothing wrong with this. But the issue is that you're asking too little, because the perspective is too little. The perspective from which you are seeking, asking, and trying to resolve the conflict that is happening in you is too little. And reality doesn't make concession. Reality is what it is, and it cannot change. Actuality, experience is what it is, and it cannot change. So you ask for too little. It's like someone who wants to discover the sea, and come with a very small glass. What is the sea? Put the sea here so I can taste it. No, seeking for the sea is beautiful, great, but you will never discover what is the sea in a glass. You are asking for too little, because your perception, maybe the sea can enter in here. So you take infinity, and you hope that it can enter into something limited. And because it doesn't, you complain and you play victimhood. So the seeing is healing. The seeing the nature of what I am, seeing the nature of actuality, what is actually here, which is experiencing, and understanding the way that I'm engaged with experience. That is absolutely not the way that we assume we are. So there is absolutely no limitation that are imposed on us. Every limitation, every conflict, every time we feel suffering and pain, no one is imposing this on us. There is no victim here. So freedom is not the disappearance of a human experience. The freedom is understanding the place of human experience in actuality, in what I am.